And we're live, which is great, because this means you won't need a seance to hear from me. Some of you wouldn't anyway. If anything had happened to me, I'd come see you. Some of you would know. So I'd be like, hey, you guys, and stuff would be falling down in your house or getting misplaced or moving around strangely or but don't expect that anytime soon, okay? That's probably not going to happen the way it's going to work, it looks like. This time something entirely different happens. Anyway, I am D Ocean. Oh, hey, Alexander, the Ganja Shaman. Hi. Yeah. I'm the Ocean Swagger, or the Ocean of the Deep Woo. What the heck is Deep Woo? Well, it's the deeper woo than most people do. Okay, let's just put you that way. We fully accept a lot of things here that, or at least I do, as just a fact, that a lot of channels just ask questions about, because we're mostly people on this channel are experiencers of one kind or another. And so if you are an experiencer of any kind of phenomena or any kind of woo, we do that here. We discuss that here. So you are welcome. And sometimes we get pretty wild here. Sometimes not so wild. A lot of times what I end up doing is predictive. It seems to be one of the most popular things I do is people want to know what's coming next. Well, who doesn't, right? So I do a lot of that. And I'm right a lot of times. As a matter of fact, I don't remember the last time I was wrong about something. But, if I am, my crew will definitely tell me. So, and that's okay. Because I want to know, what I did right and what I did wrong. So I want to preface this by saying, for the sake of the algorithms, remember that this is for entertainment purposes only. And this is just in-game advice for life in the Matrix. And has nothing to do with real life, which takes place outside the Matrix. So that pretty much covers me. It covers my butt. So, and you don't have to take anything I say seriously, even though most of the time, as a matter of fact, almost all the time, I'm right. Ignore it if you want. I don't care. But bring in an open mind. That's all I ask is bring yourself in an open mind. And I know I'm coming in at kind of an early time, but I wanted to do it before I feel like I'm going to fall asleep. And I'm not going to be, if I try to set it any later, I may not be awake for it. I just been having trouble staying awake. Some of you know I've been having trouble with this. This this desire to do a lot of sleeping. I guess there's a lot going on in my sleep. And as I've explained before, I seem to be traveling, and I've gotten some corroboration of that from the news stories that I've run across. It seems like I end up helping people pass over safely a lot. I mean, as strange as that sounds, there's more to being a shaman than I'm a clairvoyant, or what I do is I'm a clairvoyant shamanic medium. And one of the things that I do is help people cross over safely so they get home safe. And as you know, there are or, well, some of you know, and most of you, who stay here on my crew know what I call my crew, because if you're here, you're on the woo ship. Hey, James, how you doing? Hey. Yeah, if you're here, you're on the woo ship. Just know that. So, you know, we have had some problems with this matrix, to put it mildly, and people do not always cross over or know that they're even dead. And it should be automatic when you go, you know, when your time is up. It should be an automatic ejection from the system and you go home, but it hasn't been doing that. And there's all kinds of discussions about that. But one of the things that I do is make sure people find their way home, okay, as best I can. And I have even run, see, I can open portals to the next side. And I know that's saying a lot, and that's why they call me Deep Woo, right? There is an afterlife, absolutely, 100%. I'm unequivocal about that. Hey, Jonathan Roseberry, how you doing? Yeah, I'm unequivocal about that. I have experienced that. I died and saw it for myself. I have had many experiences with loved ones and even pets who have come back to talk to me and have proven to me beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're real, they exist, they're still around, even though we can't always see them. And I just wanted to get that out of the way. That's one of the things that I'm unequivocal about. That is absolutely a fact in my world. It doesn't have to be in yours, but in my world, we accept this as a fact. In my world, we accept it as a fact that things such as Sasquatch exist. It's just obvious. So many people see this all around the world, experience Sasquatch. I have experienced it. So to me, it's just going to be a given, okay? Another thing that's just going to be a given around here is ETs, spacecraft, unidentified objects. Yeah, so many people around the world. You think they're all crazy? I'm sorry, I don't accept that. I can't accept that. Experiencers abound, and ignoring them is rude, and worse than rude, and be very detrimental, and has been very detrimental to many lives. And that's another thing that I just wholeheartedly accept. I don't accept that everybody has done it. Yes, some people may be making some of this stuff up, but that should not discredit everybody else. Okay? And once again, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because we don't have a lot of proof, that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. In fact, the ether was not known to exist until we had subtle enough instruments to be able to measure that there is such a thing as an ether. And so in science, for a long time, there was no such thing as the ether. But now that we have better instruments, we can tell that yes, there is. So there are many things that I just, on the face of it at first, I keep an open mind about it. I don't close it automatically, go, that can't possibly be. I don't care what it is, if it's flat Earth or what it is. Well, maybe their version of Earth is flat. Mine doesn't appear to be. Mine appears to be code, in fact. But who knows how different people are experiencing this matrix. To me, it's a matrix. It is a matrix. Many of us experience it this way. If it were a matrix, if it were not a matrix, how come we can recode it? You know, this is not what people think it is. The farther we go, the more we find this reality is not what we think it is. Oh, you were just dreaming about your mom? She's probably getting in touch with you. They usually get in touch in dreams because it's just easier to get through to you that way. And actually, our loved ones, in order to get through to us, usually have to go through a lot of obstacles because we're so trained. We're so mistrained, you know, to be able to distinguish what's going on around us. We've got blinders on. We've been gaslighted for thousands of years to keep us in line. But, you know, the truth is, that probably was your mother getting in touch with you through a dream, because when you're dreaming, you don't have as many walls up against that. You know, you're thinking, I'm in a dream. You know, it's like, hey, this is cool. Whatever happens, happens in a dream, right? So my mom almost always shows up in a dream. Hi, Gemini. How you doing, babe? And to me, these things, okay, this is just a part of most of the people who stay here on this channel. It's a part of our world. It's just a part of our world. We just accept that. We accept remote viewing. We've done it. A lot of us have done remote viewing. We have altered the matrix. Uh, absolutely. We've altered the matrix. That is to say, changed what most people refer to as reality with our intentions and with our thoughts in completely non-physical ways. We've done all these things. You want to know how to do this? Stick around. You might learn something. Another thing is, can we know the future? Oh, the future is something no one could. Bullshit. Yes, we can. We absolutely can. It's another one of our abilities that we should have, but has been squelched. And many of our abilities that we should have has been squelched. But here in this time, I'm one of the people who's here to help you bring it forward again. If you want it, you can have it. You can have all of our abilities of old, because I believe that they are our birthright and we should snatch them back, okay? We should take back our power. What does that mean? Some airy-fairy saying? No. It means we should take back our powers, our semi-godlike powers, except they're not really semi-godlike exactly. They're really normal, and we should just have them. But because we have been trained away from them, many of us don't. Being able to send energy through our palms is another one. Reiki, that's called Reiki. That's also, Reiki is translated means God's love. But what is that? It's energy that comes straight from the universe to use. Okay. So is that a reality? Yes, I've experienced it many times. I've felt the heat from the hands. I mean, extreme heat. It feels like irons sometimes. If you haven't experienced it, go experience it from a good practitioner and you'll feel it for yourself. That is definitely energy. Okay. All of this exists. And everything that people have experienced, although sometimes they don't understand what they've experienced and may be giving a sort of a skewed account of what they've experienced, but they've experienced something, okay? All these thousands of people around the world are not crazy or just looking for fame. As a matter of fact, when you start talking about this stuff, usually you get the opposite of the kind of fame you want, right? You actually get a lot of public ridicule. You can lose friends and jobs and all kinds of other things. So is it really to anyone's benefit really to lie about it? Well, some people might have made a job of it, might have made a fortune on it. Most people do not. Most people are actually afraid to report it, but not as much as they used to be. And that's the time we're coming to right now. This activation, okay, that's another thing. Astrology, it works. It's a roadmap, though. It's not like it's another thing that we've been misled about how to use it, how to actually really use it. How to actually use it is different from what we've been told. And you're not going to get cookie cutter advice. Everybody's chart is pretty much as individual as a snowflake. And almost, and really it takes somebody skilled. And also there's an art to it as well as a science. However, what I've seen and what I told you in the last broadcast to look out for, it was coming soon, and I had forgotten. I'd even forgotten an eclipse was coming up. Of course, here in this reality matrix, whatever you want to call it, in this system, when we have an eclipse like this, it activates something. That's what it does. It's like a switch flipping. It's almost like a program starts to run, which is another reason I think we're in a matrix. It's like it starts this program's starting now. Before, when it was virus corrupted, when it was all virus corrupted, there were so many problems we had to solve. I had to cross so many people over. And actually, my crew was around when I went back 35,000 years to cross over whatever souls were stuck, that were willing to go, that were willing to leave. Because that can happen. And it's very sad because they keep reliving their death event. Because the Matrix is saying your time is over and trying to eject them, and they're not getting ejected and they're stuck. I'm like, this is terrible. And I actually ran that, and I was so tired. So, gosh, took a lot out of me. But I feel like I had to do that. And so lately I ran a mass crossing over. And I'll tell you, there aren't as many souls to cross over for some reason now. We are fixing the matrix. It is getting resolved. People are crossing over and not getting stuck as often, and that is a very big blessing. So anyway, you're wondering, what is this, if that is all true? If it's true, you don't have to believe me, but if it's true, oh, hey, Richard. Oh, out on your motorcycle. Woo! Well, you can listen to this later. It's okay, sweetheart. Woo! Have fun. Ah, that sounds like fun. Anyway, yeah, this is kind of an early time. Like I said, I wanted to come on before I fell asleep or something. I've been falling asleep just randomly all day. I wanted to stay awake for the eclipse and I couldn't do it. I fell asleep. Um, my stream of thought. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So this eclipse. Let's get to the meat of it. This eclipse, an eclipse is an activator. Eclipse is a switch flipping some kind of program on. Think of it that way. It's the easiest way to think of it. Okay, so what switch did it flip? Well, you got to look at where it's getting flipped. It's getting flipped in Scorpio during a flower blood moon. Okay, and all that means, all a blood moon is when an eclipse causes the moon to turn pink to red. And the flower moon means it's the month when things flower. It was given by the Indians, I guess, as the flower moon. That's the name given to it. And, you know, in the merry, merry month of May. So We had our April showers. Now we've got May flowers. And, you know, when you see May flowers, the Indians run because those were the doggone pilgrims. No, I'm kidding. May flowers are lovely, aren't they? So good to walk out and start seeing everything bloom. So we've got planets in retrograde right now. Don't worry too much about what that means. Maybe in some broadcast I will explain more. I do have one about Mercury retrograde if you want to go look it up in my archives. It's free to look up in my archives about, and I'll tell you everything you really need to know about Mercury retrograde, okay? So just look it up if you don't understand Mercury retrograde. But a retrograde planet simply means that from our point of view, it appears to be going backwards in the sky instead of forwards. That's all it means. And so, yet, that's still another switch getting flipped. So we're in a Mercury retrograde. And those of you who already know something about a Mercury retrograde, you might have heard that a lot of things fail at this time. It's really just the temporal side of it that fails. The spiritual side gets ramped up. I am one of the people who rewrote that. You're welcome. Yes, you can positively use a Mercury retrograde for your benefit. And I explain that in that broadcast. So no, it wasn't a broadcast. Actually, it wasn't live. It was I pre-recorded that. That's right, because there was just too much stuff I wanted to put into that. So yeah, if you go ahead and see that video, you'll understand that it's really perfectly possible to use Mercury retrograde to your benefit. Hello, Denali. And yes, the eclipse was, I guess, at 3:30 or 3 something p.m., which already passed, I guess. But I didn't even look, you know. As a matter of fact, when I was calling people, I called some of my friends. You get to be on my closer friends list. I'll give you a call when stuff is happening. You know, you'll get a call. You'll be really the first to know after I know. But when I was calling people saying, hey, I think something big is coming up, I didn't realize, it never occurred to me, we're having this eclipse, this big eclipse. We've got Jupiter retrograde. What's Jupiter about? Jupiter is the planet of expansion. I believe it's the biggest, it's the biggest, it's the gas giant. Almost was another sun. So Jupiter, the largest planet, it's about expansion. It's retrograde. So everything that it stands for, which is abundance, and that's abundance, expansion, and so on. Usually it's on the physical level. When Jupiter's going through your chart, you usually gain weight, for one thing. You can gain other stuff, but a lot of people gain weight during that time. And me being, and if you are a Sagittarius, you're going to be susceptible to gaining weight, probably. But so Jupiter is retrograde. That kicks the properties into a spiritual realm. So something in the spiritual realm is going to expand. Oh, and now we've got little Mercury coming in playing a heyoka. And if you know what a heyoka is, the little contrary. Okay, so you've got Mercury coming in, going retrograde, setting something up because he's a little trickster and he likes to play games. He's a lot of fun, you know. He is, though. He can be. If you dance with him, right? If you learn to dance with him, he can be as much fun as anything else. But he likes to play tricks and he likes to put the kibosh on certain things. And we've got Pluto return. And Pluto is the cosmic cop. And he's looking to root out all of the corruption. Pardon me. This brew we have going, this cocktail, this planetary cocktail, is going to be so interesting to see the outcome because it's a doozy. Okay, we have got an amazing combination of energies going on at this time. Plus, we have the sun and its sunspots going on, although that's beginning to diminish a little bit now. So some of you may be feeling better pretty soon because when the sun's putting off EMF waves, the more sensitive of us definitely get affected by that. So Denali, Denali, hey Denali. Um, Denali Princess came in. Anyway, what does this mean? If you think about it, okay, so got the planet of expansion and prosperity, and it's retrograding. It's on a spiritual level. Okay, so it's going to be working on a spiritual level. The physical level is going to go the other way. Probably things will go wrong on the well, maybe. Yeah, financially, I would say be careful. Yeah, right now, be careful with your finances. Be careful with your travel plans, although you can actually learn some amazing things during this period. It will be a time of spiritual expansion for the whole species. Okay. Pluto is going to be digging out all the corruption, and we're going to see it. And it's going to be shocking for everyone. Okay, even us. Yes, even us in the community that have been looking into things for years. There are going to be some things coming out that are even going to blow our minds. And that is just the feeling I've been getting is yes, even me. And I'm deep woo, come on. Because I've seen a lot, of really weird stuff. I've helped people with a lot of really weird problems, but it's real. But yet, I am probably even going to find some things that are hard for me to deal with, is what I've been warned. It's like some of this you may even have some problems with. Okay. Wow, that's saying something. So remember, when these activations happen, it doesn't mean that a whole bunch of stuff is going to happen right on that day. It means that this is starting the program. This is starting a process. Usually it takes a little while for that program to start up, just like on your computer. It's going to take a little while for this program to start up and for all the elements to come online. But when they do, oh my gosh, rock and roll. Okay. I have a feeling it's going to be a doozy of a summer. I've been getting that feeling. I've been getting prophetic dreams about it. I've been getting all kinds of feelings about it. Other people have been doing, I've been doing readings. Other people have been doing readings. This is going to be a wild summer, a wild ride. And I would say you're going to have to clean out your etheric closet. Okay. And make sure that your shadow side is taken care of because that's going to come up. That's definitely going to come up. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes, Denali. Something very big is coming. It's right on its way. And it's going to uproot a lot of things. I think there's probably going to be a economic upset. We may even have the crash during this time. We may have an actual crash. I mean, they've been predicting that the economy is going to crash, and it's been having problems all this time. It could literally crash during this period. The government, I think that this summer, big changes also happen in government. Huge. And we find out that nothing, that we've been told is actually correct. That we have been scammed from jump, okay? And it's just, how deep is the scam? We have yet to see. We haven't seen the bottom of it. We're not going to see the bottom of it right away either. It's going to go on a while. And I think this Independence Day is absolutely going to be astounding. They may even try a fake invasion like we've been hearing. If so, don't believe it. Right now, I want to say, remember that a lot of stuff's going to be strictly illusionary. A lot of stuff is being allowed to happen to shock us out of complacency and force us to take up our power and change it the way that we want to. And what do I always tell you every single episode? You are divine. You can change things. I've been told over and over again, we have the ability to change every single thing. And we do. And I've done it. So if you're watching this show and you're interested in this, you're one of those people that can do this. Or you wouldn't be interested in this. See, easy how to know. So basically, you've got this little trickster playing with money, playing with travel, playing with communications. And all of these things are what this current society worships. And he's playing with it on a background of Jupiter, creating expansion in the etheric, in the spiritual realm. Mind blowing, yes. Mind expanding, yes. Yes, absolutely. That's what it reads to me. There will be a lot. You'll have to expand your head. You actually have to open your mind and make a whole lot more space and clear out all the shadows, because honestly, otherwise you're not going to have room for all the stuff that's going to have to get it, that you're going to have to take in. It's going to be too much to take in. There's going to be a lot to take in, and that's what's getting activated. From here on out, it's going to just amazing stuff. I mean, we're probably going to find out about technology that's been held back. We're going to find out about corruption that we've not been told about. We're going to find out that the villains are good guys and the good guys are villains. We're going to find out that this whole structure of our society is contrived. We're going to find out that news is contrived. Everything's contrived. Everything was a show. And reference my last video. If you didn't see it, I explained that more in that video. That live stream where I'm explaining that dream, that's what we're looking at. We're going to find out. Everything's been a display. Everything has been a Disney ride. And isn't it strange that I had it in my mind? I kept saying this is like the e-ticket ride, okay? If you're still here right now, you bought the e-ticket ride. And back in the old days of Disney, and it's funny that Disney is in the news again for various things, right? And some of them related to things we can't say because of the algorithm, but very young people, okay? But, and Disneyland was a nation unto itself. Disney World was its own nation. All this time, like Washington? What? Yes. Disney World has been its own nation with its own rules, its own laws, its own legal system, everything. I didn't know. That came up. There'll be more stuff like that. But now DeSantis has said, I'm sorry, Disney World, you're going to have to pay taxes like any other citizen. You're going to have to be part of the state. You're going to be accountable now, like the rest of the state is. That's big. I mean, since its inception, it hasn't paid any taxes, but the rest of the people have. Who would have thought that? I mean, who thought that? Who would have thought that Disney World, Disney, would be associated with crimes against young people? But it is. It's looking more and more that way. So honestly, was that not shocking enough? Well, you're going to get more. All of these organizations, it looks to me like all of these organizations that people think are so cool that they've been donating their money to, they're going to find out that that money has not gone where it was supposed to go. But people who have been poor could tell you that already. They already know that it ain't going where it's supposed to go because they ain't seeing much of it. That's why I say if you want to give to charity, go out and find somebody poor and give them some money and do it directly. Honestly, you're better off. It'll actually get into the right hands. Because if you donate it to a charity, it's going in a lot of it is going into administrators' pockets, I guarantee you. So this is why I don't donate to very many charities. I donate directly to people. And there are always poor people around. There are always people that need help. There are always people that need some people can't afford to get nice clothes, and I have extra clothes, and I give them extra clothes. I dress them. Some people need extra food, and if I have extra food, I'll feed them. And some people need spiritual help, and if they need spiritual help and can't afford it, I'll give them spiritual help. And really, this should be a given. That's how people act. And it needs to be a given again. Ooh, what? Chicken? Somebody's talking about chicken wraps. Wait! Haven't eaten yet. It's cruel and uncruel. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Yeah, basically, I think we're going to find out that our heroes have feet of clay, a lot of them. Of course, they're not going to be my heroes because I don't have very many heroes. But one of the things we're going to learn too is the resilience of our human spirit, the importance of our humanity. And we're going to wake up. I mean, more people. I mean, a lot of this is designed and allowed to happen to shake people who are so deeply asleep. And what I'm getting, if the telepathy, the mind speak, and you hear the term mind speak in association with talking to Sasquatch, but apparently a lot of ETs can do the same sort of stuff. We're the slow kids, and we need to quit being the slow kids. We need to catch up. And there are beings who are willing to help us catch up. We should avail ourselves of that. Not be too proud. Always use discernment. Always. Never forget to use discernment. Listen to your gut. Listen to your heart. Listen to your gut. Listen to your head. And think about the situation you're in. Stay aware, do some testing, but really realize that we're going to be offered a lot of help. And if you're willing to accept it, you're going to get it. You're going to get help. I've gotten boatloads of help, really. Ever since I really now I've had all kinds of physical things I've had to overcome for the last year or so, I've been dealing with a lot of physical issues. For actually longer than that, for really a few years. I have to extend it. I've really been dealing with physical issues a lot, and energy is one of them. Having the sleepy spells, but knowing that the sleepy spells are actually for some good is heartening to me. That actually I'm busy when I'm sleeping. No wonder I'm so tired. Maybe a lot of you are too. I would have to say probably, because if you're here, once again, if you're here and this interests you, you're probably one of those. Okay? So that means you too. So, you know, anything you can do that will expand your spiritual abilities, shall we say, your, I don't want to say, and the only way I got right now to describe it is your divine abilities, because you are divine, is a good thing to do. If you've got an opportunity to expand those abilities, then it is probably something that has been put in your path intentionally to help you. And if I can help you, I will help you. And there are people around who will help. And if you need specific help, let me know. And please feel free to join my MeWe group. MeWe is free to download, or you can just get there online, mewe.com, mewe.com. We have a group there. We are not on Facebook, although I'm thinking I may have to put something on Facebook. But we're not on Facebook right now. I think this is one thing that I think is going to happen. Facebook and Google and lots of things are so tied in with our society and how it runs that in order to have these things just close would be so disruptive of our society right now. Because a lot of people sign in with Google or sign in with Facebook and even me in a lot of places. So that would be incredibly disruptive. So I think what's going to happen instead is gradually, over time, they're going to get bought out. There's going to be a different system. They're going to be bought out by different thinking people, just like Elon bought out Twitter. And you can say what you want about Elon, but at least he's not, at least he's saying, hey, I'm going to let you talk. Whatever else there is about Elon that you don't like, you got to think that's at least decent, right? I mean, that's better than it was. And sometimes you've got to settle for that. So, is he a perfect person? No. Is it a good thing that he bought Twitter? I think so. I think it is. I think it's very heartening that a millionaire is willing to come in and stand up for free speech. Am I going to feel like all of his... See, that's the point of it. Maybe I don't agree with all his politics, but at least he'll let me not agree. That's the difference. So am I for it? Yeah, I'm all for it. Oh, it's 10:45 tonight. Somebody told me it was 3 something. Okay, cool. That means I didn't miss it. Yay. Somebody told me the wrong time. Maybe it's the time, their time. Maybe we were getting confused. But that's great. Thank you, Gemini. So, Eastern. That's Eastern time. 10:45 Eastern time. Yay. I'm going to be outside. I'm going to see what I can see. So we're leading up to it. We're actually in the shadow of this. So what can you expect to see change? Like I said, finances, like I said, transportation, like I said, the way we communicate. If you're communicating on a higher level and you're not just all about the money and you're not just all about the material things, you can actually go very far in the spiritual realms right now. You can expand incredibly right now. You will be able to expand. But so will other things in the etheric realm with Jupiter involved. So watch there be an expansion of all kinds of etheric phenomena. So, but probably not too many. Oddly, everybody is saying, okay, people are seeing UFOs or UAPs, whatever you want to call them, more often now. And just as predicted, that's gone through the roof. Just as predicted, all kinds of phenomena are going through the roof. And I said, you're going to be seeing more cryptids. You're going to be seeing more of everything. That's happening. Okay. What I'm not seeing more people stuck that I need to cross over. As a matter of fact, I'm seeing fewer of those, fortunately. But the ones that are still hanging around and doing stuff, we're seeing more activity out of them, apparently. So, plenty of what you'd call paranormal activity. What the heck just happened there? Did you see that? No? Sometimes I see strange things on my screen. Hmm. Well, and by the way, I look very pink or maybe kind of purple because there is a, a grow light on in this room, aimed sort of this direction. And the rest is just natural light, which I thought I'd use today instead of the harsher light from up above. So I hope it looks good. I hope, but okay, it's in Scorpio. Scorpio is a transformational sign. Scorpio, actually, even to the Native Americans, has more than one symbol associated with it. And the main ones are the scorpion, which is the debased version, really. The higher version is the eagle. And yet another version is the phoenix. To me, since this is happening, this activation is happening during a Mercury retrograde, during a Jupiter retrograde, during a Pluto return. It looks to me like a complete transformation. The switch has been flipped on complete transformation. But if it's the phoenix energy, the phoenix burns before it becomes alive again. So we are in transition. So the switch has been flipped on that transition. Something's going to burn and die for something new to be born. And yeah, the switch has been flipped. And Scorpio is about secrets, but Pluto is about secrets coming to light. Scorpio can be about hiding things. Pluto is about rooting things out and bringing them up to light. How interesting. Are we going to see a lot of hidden things come to light? ugly things, some of them. Some of them very hot button things. Yes, we'll see all that. Will there be an opportunity for expansion? Huge, huge opportunity, such as we haven't had in a long, long time. It will be amazing. You are going to see some amazing times. Hey, Jason, you made it on. You get to meet some of my friends. Yeah, you did not miss it. Yeah, we might not be able to see the eclipse, but even if you don't see it, you'll probably feel it sooner or later. Hey, like I said, this is Deep Woo. Like it, or there are other channels. Am I doing this for money? No, I'm doing this because this is what I do. And I'm sharing it because this is a sort of a dharma, I guess you would call it. But actually, I love the people I meet here. I love you. You guys are great. And I'm looking for the rest of my group on the Woo ship. So that's why I do this. And I talk about things that are really weird. So we're going to have, hopefully, if things work out well, we're going to have Robin McCrae on here at some point. She's already agreed that she's going to come on my show at some point. And we're also going to have, hopefully, it should be interesting to hear from this fellow who says he's a dragon. Now, I want to remind you when I have guests on to please be kind and polite. And I know you guys will. You guys will be fine. I mean, you guys know how to behave. You're not crazy people, most of you. I don't know about Jason, though. Maybe Jason. He might have. No, I'm kidding. Okay. You have credit for the universe and are just waiting for the paycheck. I like that one, Denali. You do too. I'm gathering. So, but that's the kind of spirit we need. As things go on, it makes your heart happy. You're going to be able to do more of that. You're going to be able to do that freely and without censure. Isn't it worth it? We're going to have a big scare. It's going to look like the world is ending. That's the feeling I get. It's going to look like the world is ending, but it's not. Well, one world is ending. Another world's going to begin. So in a way, yeah, something's going to die. And it may be a former way of life. And probably it will have to do with finances, communication, and travel. Probably it will have to do with expansion and abundance. Probably it will have to do. But I think what it's going to do is unlock it for everybody eventually, not just the few. Because right now, wealth is in the hands of just a few. I think Jupiter's going to come in and expand it so that we've all got some, so that we all have our chance. I think abundance is going to be measured differently. I think we're going to have a value shift. Now, I know some of you out there are dealing with shortages. I will tell you right now, I will stand by this. Locoeta, I'm not sure what that is. I'd love to hear sometime, Karen Lynn, and I'd love you to explain that to us. Maybe you can come on my show sometimes, Karen, and explain it all to us. So, yeah, crazy and proud of it. Hell yeah. Weird pride. Yep. We need a Weird Pride t-shirt. I'm going to have to design one. And I'm hitting a creative thing. I'm really kind of feeling creative. I'm probably going to be creating a bunch of stuff. And let me see. Okay, crazy white women. That's right, crazy white. Oh, crazy white lady. Is that what it means? Where are you from, Karen? What language is that? Yeah, I guess I am too then. Mark, your one of your friends saw a UFO and someone called WINR. Okay. Jason, we want to hear about it. Get him on here. We want to hear about all this stuff. We want to hear all the woo. Dish the woo, baby. Come on. Dish it up. We want all the woo. Yeah, Texas. Okay. El Paso, Texas. It's Spanish. It sounded Spanish. But I'm a dumb American. I only speak one language and telepathy. Just one language and telepathy. But telepathy's extra. Telepathy costs twice as much as I'm currently charging you for all this information. Wait a minute, it's free. Oh, well. Anyway, yeah, I have mentioned you to Gemini before, and Jason has also been on the show before. So he is an interesting fellow, and get to know him a little bit, and you'll see for yourself. Okay, so he knew me back in the old hood. We lived in the ghetto together. Crazy white woman from the ghetto. Wow, the colors are doing weird things on my screen. Are they doing them on your? I'm glowing. Whoa. Am I glowing blood moon pink orange? What the? I am. Okay, you guys. I expect a little purple, but maybe kind of pink, but orange? Wow. Anyway, well, ah, oh, Gemini. Gotta watch Gemini. She might not behave entirely. You gotta watch her. She's a wild one. I am glowing. Okay, well, if I just turn ethereal or something, I'll be back. I'll come back and talk at you. Uh, yeah. Uh, that's another weird thing. Has anybody else noticed their body changing in weird ways, like the texture of your skin? And I'm seeing these weird. I think we are going through. We're going through a transformation physically, definitely. I'm seeing under my skin. It's sometimes like when lights hit it a certain way, I can see what looks to be tiny, tiny, like the point of a pin, little sparkles under my skin. And I was looking one time, I thought, did I get some glitter dust or something on me? But I'm looking and I'm going, no. It only happens when the light hits it. Am I turning into Edward the vampire that sparkles in the sunlight? No. I think we are actually. We're told that we're getting more silica, more of a silicon nature physiology, and if so, that could be it. Perhaps that is manifestation of our change, physical change. So that could be. But yeah, I'm glowing. God, I look day glow. I swear I'm not wearing day glow makeup. I haven't quite gotten used to that. I think this is some kind of a message. I know that this has a partly physical component, but this may be some kind of a message. That is a heart chakra, sacral chakra color. That would be a connection between the heart and the sacral chakra. Emotional. Okay, your sacral chakra is sex and also emotions. Your high heart is pink. Your regular heart chakra color is green. Your high heart is actually kind of a pink magenta. I think what I'm seeing is a combination of the high heart magenta and the lower uh, sacral chakra colors turning out to be sort of a day glow, pink orange. There must be some kind of connection going on there, and that's good because there is also a connection between your heart chakra and your throat chakra, your heart being green, your throat being blue. But have you noticed that these things go in cycles and the color blue green, turquoise, blue green, sort of a sea green, is very popular right now? There's a reason. We're going to be learning to speak with our hearts and create. It's also a creative chakra. How you create. You create with what you speak. Once again, you are divine. You are creators. We are the creators of reality. We really are. And we create with our words and our voices, and we create with our thoughts. And what we say is important. I'm going to say one of the messages here today is what you say and how you say it, and how you talk to yourself, how you talk to others, how you talk to the universe, what you say to the universe. It's all going to count now. It's all going to count. And you who know better, it's going to count more because you know better. And you know better because I just told you, if you didn't before. What you say matters. Be careful how you talk about yourself. Be careful how you talk about others. Be careful what you ask the universe for. Be careful what you say reality is. More than ever, be careful what you say reality is. So if you're just talking a bunch of, this is terrible, that's terrible, but see, I'm not going to harp on conspiracy theories. We all know, we'll touch on them. We know that a lot of them have turned out to be true. I'm not going to debate them. All must use their discernment. We'll touch on them. We'll speak of them, maybe discuss them a little bit. But are we going to say how horrible the world is? No. Are we going to dwell on how corrupt our government is? No, we're not going to dwell on it. We're going to just know that that's happening, but we're going to see it getting better. And we're going to imagine how that better would look. That's what we need to do, because this is the honest that's upon us. Knowing that you're a creator and a co-creator with the rest of us. What are you going to create? People have been creating chaos for a long time. One thing that the forces of chaos love to do is get you to create your own demise. So don't do it. Be a rebel. Refuse to create your own demise and the demise of others and the demise of Earth and the demise of everything. You just refuse to be the creator of things that pull us down. Decide to be the creator of things that elevate us and empower us. Decide that that is going to happen. Absolutely. Even more now than ever before. And most of you know this already. Your vote counts. It counts a whole lot more than it did in our last election. I think I snuck that one in under the wire, right? Yeah. So, karma is speeding up. That's another thing. That's right. Karma is becoming more instant. It sure is. It used to take a long time. And I used to say, what good is karma from other lifetimes if you don't even remember what you did? How is that supposed to benefit anybody? But now you'll remember what you did. It's coming. It's a coming. We are to create no new karma in this life, so do good to yourself and others, and it will come back to you. Yes, it is going to flow much easier now. And all the good that we have done is going to come back to us. Yes. Forgive, play, and be childlike. That's right. And hey, Marilena, Marilena, we have to have you on the show. She's enjoying a sudden popularity somehow. And I think wasn't I the first one to ever have you on a show? And now everybody wants you on their show. Even Duke wants you on the show talking about Bigfoot, and you're not particularly an authority on Bigfoot, but he wants you on the show. Aren't you special? And you better have some news about Bigfoot for us too, then, whatever you find out. Marilena, we want to know what's going on in South Africa, and you got to be our reporter. You need to be our reporter. What's going on in South Africa? So, yeah, it's going to be more important as time goes on to be precise in your speech. The colors that you see coming in, I think they have a meaning. As popular, I think they are coding something. They're a part of the coding. So if you get to read colors, you might want to look into the meanings of colors. I looked into it when I was doing candle magic. I actually taught my ex candle magic, and I think I made a huge mistake there because the way he used it. I no longer create Frankenstein monsters, so I gave that up. I hope. But no, I can't be. You know what? I can't be responsible for everything everybody does with the kind of information that they get from me because I just can't. Let's face it, I can't control what you do with knowledge once you get it. Can I? Should I be guilty for that? No, I don't think so. If you take what I show you and you misuse it, that's on you. It's only information. You don't have to use it. And if you misuse it, it's on you. It's tomorrow there, and she's still there, and we're here. And well, which one of us is in the future? Oh, Mary, am I still there in the future, Mary? Mary Lena? So, yeah, my cards, like I said, my cards, my pendulum, and everything is saying, whoa, we're on the verge of big change. We're on the verge of the collapse of a lot of corrupt systems. What's that going to look like in the meantime? Well, it could look like shelves empty of baby formula. You're going to have to go back to more natural ways of doing things. You're going to have to learn to make your own baby formula. Goat milk, I hear, is easier for babies to uh, digest than cow milk because goat milk has smaller curds. So that may help some people. But yeah, a lot of people are very angry because there is an artificially contrived shortage. I believe that every single shortage right now, look, we're a big planet here. This is a big world, realm, whatever you want to call it. It grows a lot of food. It's very abundant. Mother Earth has told me she can supply food for a population 3 times our size and has in the past. We are getting some indications that we're actually many more people here in the past. And when I went back and freed trapped souls, I will tell you there were times when this planet was loaded with people. Loaded. Way more people than we have now. And did fine. They were doing fine. All shortages are man-made. Well, parasite-made. Artificially contrived. Every shortage we have. I will go further. Every plague is another thing that has been constructed and done. And that is also what I've seen. Every plague we've ever had. None of them were naturally launched. None of them were naturally contrived. That's probably going to come out at some point. With everything else. That's the way it looks. Okay, you don't have to believe that, but that's the way it looks. It looks like a lot of our tragedies have, almost all of them, have been artificially made and don't really need to exist at all. By now, most people have made their choices. There are still some people who are asleep. Some people, it will take all of this tumult to awaken them. The last few that can awaken. I'm not saying everybody can. I don't think everybody can. Maybe they can't. I would hope that, but maybe not. It could be, like we hear, maybe not everybody can awaken. Low battery mode. Well, hook it to your power pack, Jason. I know you got one. Cost you $45. You told me about it. I found one. I found one with 4 solar panels, and I found it for only $27, Jason. Neener, 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 neener. I haven't tried it yet, though, so I don't know how it is. But see, I remember things like that. See, that's it. I'm a shopper. I love to shop. I got to say, I don't like how tired it makes me in the environment of, the masks and everything. I didn't like that environment shopping. That it was just plain exhausting and horrible. But, I guess women spent so much time being gatherers in that hunter-gatherer thing. A lot of times we were on the gathering end of that. And I guess that's why we love shopping, why we remember these things, how much everything costs, and where can we find the best stuff. It's like finding where the best berries are, where the best plants are. Well, if we lose you, though, Jason, I'll see you next time on The Price is Right. Remember, we didn't charge you a penny for this. Yeah, the wet nurses, yeah. Wet nurses, that was a thing at one time. There are some animals that can help us and don't mind helping us. It seems like goats and cows don't really mind that much. Or at least. Cows, the curd is a little too big, though. That's what I hear the problem was. For a lot of babies is it's a little bit easier to digest goat, so try goat milk. There may be some other smaller animals that you could try. You know, you could try milking your dog. I don't suggest it. I don't really suggest that, but in a pinch, probably. Dogs are very service-oriented animals. They might go for it. It was funny because I saw a video like that where this little baby, this obviously mother dog, was feeding her babies, and the human baby was just going to go right in there with. It was just going to go right in there, before mom pulled him away. And I'm thinking, well, he's a baby. He's going to go where the food is. That's all he knows. There's food. So I don't know. There's got to be natural ways to take care of this. So love shopping at garage. And you know what? I think that's going to be another thing too. A lot of us absolutely love to go shop the garage sales and the thrift shops and stuff. And I sure do. And I think another value we've got to bring back is refurbishing older, already made things instead of throwing everything on the garbage heap. That's one of my values. I try to repurpose everything I have, which sometimes means I have a little too much and I have to start giving things away or selling it. You may see, pretty soon I'm probably going to have a garage sale again and get rid of some items of mine or make some items to get rid of, because I have all this art equipment, all these tools and everything. I probably should start making things again. And I actually have something I'm working on right now, and I'm going to put it on probably on Frugal's channel. And for those of you who aren't subscribed to Frugal B1TCH, Frugal B1TCH. Uh-huh. That's where I kind of let out my Southern grandma side. You don't like shopping. Under certain conditions, I don't either. Back in the garden. Yeah, go to the garden. Yep. Yeah. Love me a bargain. I do too. Soy milk. I don't recommend soy, though. I really don't recommend soy. No soy. If you can avoid soy at all costs, it's weaponized just like wheat. I would say avoid soy as much as you can. Unfortunately, it has a plant hormone in it that mimics estrogen, and too much estrogen causes problems in males and females and may be contributing to some of our issues that we are having right now with confusion. Some people might take offense to that, but I'm sorry, it's true. Estrogen, your body reads plant estrogen as estrogen. It can make a difference to have too much estrogen. Hormones are the chemicals that run our processes. When are we going to get it through our heads? Duh. Food is composed of a lot of different chemicals and hormones. It's going to make a change in your physiology, of course. And I'm not berating you for saying soy, because it's better than starving, but maybe. But people think soy is good, and it was sold to us. It's another one of those things that was sold to us as good, and you think you're being great, and you think you're being healthy, and you think you're helping yourself or somebody else by getting them onto soy, and it turns out that soy is one of the worst things for us. And part of that reason is because it's been just as weaponized as refined wheat flour. And wheat, almost all wheat, is dangerous now. And corn is another one that has been compromised. So, and this is really hard because some of you, if you've got the Texas, Spanish, Mexican, thing going where you love that kind of food, and I do too, then please go for the organic stuff as often as you can, because corn has also been weaponized heavily and will mess with you. So please be mindful of what you put in your body right now. As you're going through these changes, you might find it affects you even more than it ever did. So, yeah, the GMO soy and the way they put it in everything. Everything. Yeah. See, that's the problem. You might be able to do a little bit of soy here, or a little bit of soy there, but they put it in everything. You might be able to survive a little GMO here and a little GMO when everything's GMO. And if it's GMO, it's going to be drenched in glyphosate, because that's why they make it GMO, is so they can soak it in glyphosate. And we have found that glyphosate is carcinogenic. Just the opposite of what they said. Oh, it's safe. And I still have people who fight me over this. And I think, okay, kill yourself. I did my best. There's still people that try to fight me on this. It's like, fine. I'll tell you a couple times. I'll make an initial attempt to convince you. And if I get the impression that you're just not going to listen no matter what I do, I will stop and let you go ahead and hurt yourself and find out. My mother did that to me. I was dancing around while she was ironing, and she said, "Be careful, the iron is hot. Don't touch it." What happens if you touch an iron? You get burned, and you soon learn that getting burned is no fun. And it may take only once or twice, and then from then on, my mother would say hot, and I would say, oh, caution, right? Would automatically be very, very cautious. So, okay, you're going to fight me over it and you don't want to believe it, you don't have to, but go ahead and find out what happens. And it's not my fault. Okay, so Black Dragon, hello, sweetheart. How you doing? Yeah. Is anybody else having some cool experiences during this time? Because if so, please let us know. If you want to come on the show, or you know somebody who should come on the show that you want to come on the show, please let me know. You know how to find me. I'm over at MeWe. It's very hard for me to find anybody in my email anymore. And I had a dedicated email, but then I realized that I had to do so much to get into my other email anymore, because I'm dealing with a phone, that then to get back to my regular mail. I got to figure out some better way to do this, right? I got to come up with another dedicated email for that somehow. But until then, if you go to MeWe.com, which is free download, or you can just get there on the web, I'm easy to find there. And actually join the group, The Ocean's Woo Lounge, or go to Galactic Woo Crew. And we'll be glad to have you. So I have two groups on MeWe. Like I said, I may have to do a Facebook, although I'm not looking forward to that. I think Facebook will be taken over by somebody else, though. I kind of think Google will also fall to somebody else's hands. I think everything's going to get taken over by somebody else. And we may not look at it and say it's perfect, but it will be better than the previous situation. Everything's going to need adjustment, probably. And I can see that there's going to be a horrible mop up even after we've taken out all of the nasty stuff. There's going to be a lot of mop up. I have possibly some intel that may be legit. It's kind of looking legit. It looks like with some of the powers that were, an agreement or contract is ending. And with the end of this contract comes a lot of changes. Interestingly enough, the end of the contract coincides with this eclipse. So, a contract is ending. An agreement is ending. What that will mean, let me move the phone a little bit here. What that will mean, from my cards, it looks like it's going to mean a lot of good things. There will be, of course, some cleanup. Yeah, there will be some tumult. There will be, you know what? You don't have to be one of the ones, though. You're forewarned. The stuff that you really need, just get a little bit extra. The shortages won't last forever. And if we help each other, the shortages don't have to do any of us too much harm. Mary! Mary wins. Hi. How you doing, dear? Yeah. Oh, it's good to see everybody here. We got a good little group here going. I'm going to ask if I can get anything clairvoyantly on this more specific. Well, I'm seeing all these flowers blooming in my head, which is a beautiful picture. So I think I might be getting a message from Mother Nature, perhaps. Nature itself. And my head is getting a little funny. So I think she's trying to speak. Okay, for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, she's saying, once again, haven't I told you, learn to use my systems well, and all your needs will be provided. I have nothing but love for you. You are my children, like everyone else. And moreover, you have the ability to change everything. So don't fear, and never believe anyone who says, I am doing anything against you. What I'm getting is there is no wrath of nature. There never was. Nature doesn't have a wrath. Nature just tries to restore balance. Wrath is not really part of that. the systems she speaks of, she said something very similar before. She said it's almost exactly the same message. She's just saying, don't forget, I've already said this. And this is mind speak. This is not in words at all. This is more like ideas and concepts. She wants me to tell you not to believe in the concept of the wrath of nature. It's not true. That doesn't really exist. She has no wrath and has no need for wrath. Also this idea that Earth is dying and we're killing her. How much ego that is. It's very egotistical, you know. She's a very big planet and we can't kill her. We can hurt her. You know, there are some things that have kind of hurt her. She doesn't feel very good about it. I mean, particularly nukes are not fun. I mean, she doesn't like that. She doesn't like fracking. But we can't kill her. Not we. Not the way we are now. I suppose if we all got together and decided with our minds that as creators that we wanted to uncreate something, we could do it. But I doubt we'd ever want to do that. Remember that you're a creator. Don't let anybody get you to create something you don't want to be responsible for. Yeah, we're just seeing the beginning of it. We're going to have, yeah, Gaia is strong. She is a big planet. She's been through a lot of stuff. Our lives are kind of an eye blink for her, you know. And there have been cataclysms here before, and she's recovered. She will always recover. Thing is, surface life may have a hard time. The life on her surface, things change. Looks like a time when we were almost wiped out. The mud flood people and the people who have looked into our real history are finding that everything we know is wrong. Once again, I think this will be in all fields that we find out that everything we know is wrong. Everything we've been taught is a lie. Everything that we have been told, once again, it's contrived. I think it was Mark Twain that said, history is 90% made up and the rest is lies. I get a lot of Mark Twain quotes coming into my mind. Another one is, it ain't the things that we don't know, but the things that we know that just ain't so that really trip us up. I made a song about that one. He's right about both of those things, you know. We think we know things. We don't know shit. We've been told BS. We have been told BS all the way through. And we're finding that out. Mud flooded buildings. Everything. Everything. Totally bogus. Our history. Was it even Columbus? Columbus discovered America? Come on. You mean to tell me? And when guys look at it, it's funny. The World's Fairs and their buildings that are built better than what we got now. We can't build them that way now, but they were built in 3 years just for the World's Fair to only be knocked down. Wait a minute, what? Does that make any sense? No, never did to me either when I was a kid. But there was no way to really question that. Doesn't make sense that people who were going around building wood buildings would be able to make something like these amazing, fabulous architectures that we see all over our realm. Some of them look so intricate that they would have to have been printed. We've only just reinvented that. I'm pretty convinced that at one time we had a very, well, most of you probably believe this too. We had a very thriving and much higher civilization than we have right now. Possibly making some of the same mistakes we did. But but something happened, something cataclysmic. But when you look at the statues, all of the ancient statues, they're mostly naked. Like they didn't have a care in the world. They weren't worried about being ripped off. They weren't worried about climate. Most of them are a lot of them are flying. A lot of them are floating. They had their original powers. What was that society? What would they have been like? They were farther along than we are. They had all of their original abilities. That's why they look like that. They're beautiful because they didn't have to worry about aging and they didn't have to worry about disease. They're floating because they had their original abilities, or maybe they were out in space. Maybe that was what it was like in a less gravity. Or they're not wearing clothes because they don't really need to. The environment is always what they need it to be, whatever they need it to be. You know, I mean, obviously they were a society that enjoyed a lot of freedom and a lot of comfort. And they were not lacking much of anything, really. And a lot of their ways of doing things, we should really consider looking into that. I'm thinking of I can't do it this month. I need to get some more money into my account somehow. But I need oh, and by the way, if you would like PayPal, if you have any donations you would like to throw my way, but I'm not saying you have to do anything. But if you'd like to throw some donations my way, that would be oceandiana@gmail.com, which is also my main email. But you know what? If you send me something there, chances are I won't even see it for a while because I'm always having to delete like 1,000 items because I have let too many people know about that address. So, doggone it. Anyway, so if you send me ads, it's probably just going to bounce anyway. So, yeah. But it will work for PayPal anyway. So, and I should have put that up as a banner, but it's not really. Like I said, if I were doing this for money, I would really be disappointed right now, but no, it's because I love being with you. I love being able to be, really, I like being a conduit. I like being able to get this out of my head and into somebody else's hands, into somebody else's ears, because it bothers me just rolling around in my head, you know, getting these messages and having just a very limited amount of people to share this with. It's like, I feel like if I make a broadcast about it, at least you guys are going to know, and then maybe later on other people will find it and use it, be able to use this. So, you know, at least I'm doing something with it. Yes, create your illusion, use your illusion, right? Create the most wonderful illusion you possibly can. Why not? Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Oh, is Marilena going to sleep? Okay, dream well, Marilena. Dream well, sweetheart. Yes, that's right, Denali. That's the right attitude. I'm missing a lot here, and unfortunately, yeah, you'll catch up with me. Mark Twain, yeah. The more I know, the more I don't know. Yeah, no, the more we know, the more we know we don't know much of anything, really. The more the more educated you get, the more you realize you don't know squat. And you know what? I'm going to give you an answer. One of these days, I'm going to have a little fun with people. There'll be a quiz later. You know how people say that? I think I will. I will make up a quiz. And fun facts that you didn't know. I bet you don't know. Let me ask you, now, those of you who are listening right now, what makes crop circles? And then I will give you a scientific answer. Go ahead and go. What makes crop circles? Thank you. Yes, I'm a little short right now, but it could show up in my account somehow, some way. Something could come in. I'm going to allow for that. So, does anybody have a guess? How are crop circles made? Maybe nobody's even really listening. Maybe you're all having a wonderful time. Oh, that guy that does it? Well, I'm going to wait for a couple more people to chime in if they want to. What makes a crop circle? The cause of crop circles, the scientific cause of crop circles. Scientific cause. I have checked it out. This is true. Scientific cause of crop circles. I'll tell you. Balls of light. Oh, you don't have to be good with email. Oh, you mean bad with email? Oh, you mean my email? Oh, that's just my address in PayPal. That's how you find me. My PayPal me is Ocean Diana 2. My PayPal me, I believe that's something like paypal.me.oceandiana or something like that. Yeah, it's the way you get PayPal. Anyway, according to science now, because of a physicist, a physicist with a PhD, whose last name happens to be Hasselhoff because he's from the Netherlands, and Hasselhoff is apparently like Jones there. He actually took it seriously and studied crop circles, made a lot of measurements, very precise scientific measurements, and came to the conclusion that the eyewitnesses were not lying because we actually have it on video. People took a picture of this crop circle appearing under these balls of light, twin balls of light. And he sent his findings off to, I believe the magazine was called Planum Planarum, a plant magazine, a scientific review magazine, where your findings are peer reviewed and checked over by scientists. And they approved it and passed it and said, yes, your findings are all correct. We can find no flaw in your findings. Guess what? Crop circles are now the scientific reason for crop circles are balls of light. Launch that on one of your sciencey friends that doesn't know any better. Launch it on one of your ignorant friends. Have them look it up. Tell them, look up. And this happened in 2001 and was considered a fact by 2002. So by 2001 or 2, you'll find that that's when things changed, and it became a fact, scientific fact. Now, they're not saying who sent those balls of light or exactly how, but they do know that that a real crop circle, as opposed to a fake one, will have a will be cooked rather than broken or crushed. A real crop circle is caused by a heat effect. So the way he proved it is by proving that the dimensions and the lines and the angles at which the stalks were bent and the cuticles were exploded was consistent with a ball of light. And lo and behold, they said, yep, you're right. That's consistent. So a real crop, how do you know a real from a hoax? The real one's cooked and bent, not crushed or broken. That's the difference. And a lot of times people witness balls of light. So what's really going on there? We're not sure. We're still not sure who, but I think it might be Gaia, or it might be a helpful ET, or it might be some kind of nature spirit. Haven't been told yet. You know what? I think one day I'm going to do some cards on it or some pendulum work on that. Maybe next time we'll look at some of these things, see if we can get some answers on what's really going on. People want to make Mark Twain the bad guy so they can justify taking his books out of schools. Yeah, because he has a lot of wisdom to offer, so you got to get rid of him. Yeah, you know what? There was a woman that was cured of her fibro, so I'd love to find a crop circle and stand in it. Yeah, I hear that you can feel the energy, and here's also another fact you may not know about crop circles. I never expected to do crop circles, anything on crop circles today. You may not know this, but the seeds in the crop circle, and now you know what? There are places where it's actually illegal to keep the seeds from a crop circle. Why? Because they grow super plants that are impervious to almost everything. The seeds look actually shriveled and smaller than normal seeds, but they grow into especially sturdy, hardy plants. Crop circles are a blessing. The seeds that come from them are a blessing. They're meant to be a blessing and a communication to us that we're loved, that somebody loves us and is trying to help us and take care of us. Somebody's trying to give us boons. And when they do something like make it illegal, then you know it's got to be something to help us. Because why else would they make something like that illegal? Can you think of a single reason why that would be illegal? No reason, except it would help us too much. And we're not allowed to be helped too much right now. But that'll change. That'll change. That's changing. It is changing. And if I have my vote, and I do, it's changing sooner than later. And let me see. Come and activate my seeds in my garden. I'd invite him to do that. I wouldn't, you know what? Those of you who have a garden, see if you can invite them. Maybe we can. We're creators. We communicate with nature. Why wouldn't we be able to invite them? Whatever they are, whoever they are. And if it's Gaia herself, should be able to. Why not? Do you know how many of my new abilities started with why not? Try? Could it be possible? Thoughts like that? And then I suddenly find I have a new ability? Try it. What you got to lose? Nothing, really, right? Try it. Wouldn't that be interesting? That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I don't know. If they can do it on a space that small, maybe there's parameters that they have, but honestly, why not? I'm going to ask that they do it around here somewhere. Wouldn't that be interesting? If we could call this to our garden and get these super seeds and pass them among ourselves and solve every hunger problem on the face of the earth. Whee! Let's do it. Let's do it. It sounds like fun. Mercury might be down with this too because he likes a good joke. What do you think, Mercury? We could pull this off. What do you think, Jupiter? What do you think, Pluto? What do you think, Mother Gaia? Could we do it? All right, come on, let's try. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I'm in too. I'm in too. You never know till you try. I didn't know I was going to be able to go back 35,000 years and cross over souls that far back. But then I had to stop for some reason. For some reason, 35,000 years is where I had to stop. And I don't know why. Maybe one day I'll find out why. I didn't know I could do a lot of things. I didn't know for some reason I had a mental block that I was a medium until it was like proved to me without a shadow of a doubt. And so many other things. I'm so doubtful. I am. I'm really a skeptic. See, that's just it. I'm actually a skeptic. I'm skeptical. And I think sometimes it's detrimental, but sometimes it's a good thing because then I know, doggone, if you've managed to convince me, you've achieved something. Because I'm very skeptical. However, I will allow it to float for a while and until I see yay or nay on it. I'll say, okay, it's possible. That's the way I take everything. Okay, we'll say it's possible. I can't prove it one way or the other yet. So will the universe prove it to me, please, one way or the other? Thank you. And usually, the universe does. Well, what it is it's the seeds that are harvested from the affected crop circles. It's the seeds that are harvested that are special. So I don't know that the plants themselves, in fact, remember that the plants are cooked first. Not killed, but bent over and cooked somehow. So there's heat involved. So you might not like that effect. I don't know. It's up to you. Think about what I told you. And you can look up the studies and look into crop circles but yeah, maybe they can do that with the seeds in your current plants. I don't know. I don't know. Worth a try though. If you know what? We've got farmland around here. Wouldn't it be cool if I could manifest crop circles in this area in Ohio? Because we usually hear about them everywhere else. We hear about them over in Europe, right? Which makes me wonder who's really sending them, because that's a different area. But could we somehow have crop circles over on this continent? Because you don't hear about that. You hear them all over on the other continent. Could we somehow attract them over here? Maybe. Well, worth a try anyway. Right. Oh, they have them in the US and they don't talk about them. Yeah, that could be too. I'm wondering if we had them around here, if we'd hear about it. Now, I'm saying if it does happen around here, I want to hear about it so I can go there. If I can go there and report on it, that would be so cool. And I have a feeling that this year I'm going to run into the Sasquatch. I'm already hearing mine speak from them. And it appears that there's a matriarch, and she is actually a very loving soul. And she is. They explained to me. They showed me every time that they showed me the times that they were around me in my mind, and they said they always cared about me. They always loved me. They loved me because I was always respectful. Now, do they love me like we love kittens? I don't know. Maybe. But the matriarch seems very sweet to me. She mind speaks very sweetly to me. So uh, it is a sort of a motherly energy. So chances are the Sasquatch around here are very good Sasquatch. We have probably the kind ones, it looks like. So we'll see. But in effect, they are in touch with me right now. So will I see them? And then Mary has told me that she's seeing the ships. The ships are over her place all the time. Oddly, I haven't seen a lot of ships around here this summer yet. I haven't been out very much yet. I'm going out tonight, I think, and see if I can see anything. And if anything cool happens, I'll definitely let you know. Oh, my battery is getting low. And it's too bad because I'm having such a good time talking to y'all. And listening to you all. Yeah. You guys are so brilliant in your own way. You're so brilliant. Um, and I know you've been around and I know you've seen things and I know you've experienced things and you've looked into things. You're not asleep, not sleepers. And that's the important thing. It's trying to talk to sleepers is really hard. Really hard. But yeah, as a matter of fact, I can't hardly stand to be around sleepers for very long. I have to kind of put my knowledge on the back burner and just not bring anything up. Just not bring it up. So have to just treat them different, like, like a person with a disability. It may only be a temporary disability, right? For some of them. Anyway, we've talked a lot. We've talked 2 hours worth, haven't we? Yes, we have. And I've said I will put in a couple hours when I come in if you are up to it, if you feel up to it. And I will try and come in tomorrow too. I think I want to try and come in tomorrow. There may be some things to say tomorrow. I want to hear your experiences, if you have any of this lovely eclipse that we're going through. It was a lot of fun, and thank you so much for showing up. I'm really grateful for everybody who shows up. I send out my love to you, and I remind you, the truth is where you find it, and usually it's right in front of you, and it has been the whole time. It's just all how you look at things. Once you are ready to see it, you will see it. So the truth is always there, waiting to be found by you and me. The truth is where you find it. And you are divine. You're divine creators. Never forget that. And remember that that gives you responsibility. You're responsible not only to yourself, but pretty much creation. What happens in this realm anyway? It's on us. But it's a wonderful thing. If you create and joy, it's going to be a joyful creation. So create and joy. Okay, divine ones, divine creators. Hey, Drake. Love you too. Doggone it. You just came here just as I'm ending. You're going to have to replay it, my man. Yeah. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I'm going to try and be on tomorrow and see what happens. Tonight, this is Sunday? Yeah. Yeah, like I told some of you. Sunday, Monday, here it is, the eclipse. Thank you so much. Well, and I thank you all for being beautiful beings that you are. I call it being because, these are just little avatars. Our bodies are just little avatars that we use to interact with this matrix. But your being is huge. You are huge, a huge and powerful being. And never forget that. Okay, love you very much and see you again soon. Until next time.